What's up YouTube? Snatchpato here with tactic of the day number 3. Now today's tactic is actually a study done by Cheron in 1936, and this tactic is actually really interesting to me, not just because it's a cool tactic, but because the computer on Lichess here can't find it until I show the computer the first move. So that's really cool, and I'll show you that after this. So it's white to move. Try and find the best move for white. Take your time, pause the video if you need. Okay, so the move that the computer cannot find, so kudos to you if you do find it, is knight f5. Now this sets up one big scary threat of rook h1 checkmate. Okay, that's the threat that the knight sets up with that move. It clears the way for the rook to come and checkmate the king. So black has to deal with that checkmate in one of two ways. Okay, first of all, if it plays something like bishop to b7, just trying bishop b2, excuse me, trying to come to c1, we simply check the king and checkmate. So that's not going to help white at all. It's not going to help black at all. The king can't move. This pawn can't move. Note well that we're on white's side of the board. So this pawn is actually coming down the board. It's not going up. It's coming down the board. So that pawn is stuck. This king is stuck. So really the only piece for black that can move is this bishop. And that's the most important part of this tactic. Now the bishop can also just play, I don't know, to d2 or something like that. But the checkmate is still going to come in two moves. So black has to come up with something else, and the most logical thing, and the one you would have calculated if you saw knight f5, is bishop takes rook. Makes sense. So now, what's your point snatch? Where's the checkmate? Well, this is an incredible example of Zugzwang. If you don't know what Zugzwang is, it's basically, I'm pretty sure, a German word, and what it means is giving your opponent a choice between 2 bad moves, or 3 bad moves, or 4 bad moves. Basically saying every single move you make is bad for you. And this is a really good example after the move knight g7. Now look at this. As I mentioned before, this king and this pawn can't move. So the bishop's the only piece that can move, correct? So bishop takes knight, only move. Checkmate. King can't come to b1 because of the king. Can't come to b2 because of the bishop. Pawn can't do anything to stop the checkmate. Wow. Checkmate. Let's go back to the start and have a look how that all unfolded. First, white played knight f5, threatening the checkmate on h1. Black had to deal with that threat, and we saw that moving the bishop anywhere here, you know, to try and block, is not going to work, because white's simply going to go boom boom, checkmate no matter what. So we've got to take the rook, correct? And now a perfect example of Zugzwang, knight g7. The only move is bishop takes, and bishop takes for checkmate. Now one last thing I want to add. In this position at the very start, if I turn on Lichess's suggestion engine, so the local computer evaluation for variation analysis, if I turn that on, look what it's suggesting. It's suggesting rook h7. Now this isn't a bad move, of course. It's basically saying I'm going to move the knight and checkmate you anyway, because you have to move your bishop. So for example, bishop moves here, knight moves anywhere, bishop blocks, we go check. Okay, so the bishop's blocking because if we play rook now, it's stalemate. This bishop is pinned, these pieces can't move, it's a draw. So white doesn't do that. Instead they grab this long diagonal where we checkmated before, and now the bishop has to block, and now you can either take the bishop with checkmate, or you can play rook h1 checkmate. So there's 2 checkmates there, and that's checkmate in 4 moves from the very beginning. Okay, so you can see this is checkmate in 4 moves. This one is checkmate in 1, and the computer finds it now 2, 3. So checkmate in 3 as opposed to checkmate in 4 that the computer can't find. I'm not sure why it can't find it, but it's very interesting. To me anyway. So hope you enjoyed that one. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video on Twitter, any other social media you'd like. Tactics coming every single day. Hope you like it. Remember to always stay classy. Peace.